It is time to announce the Melbourne Press Club's 2 national awards. First up, we celebrate the most prestigious national award in Australian journalism. It is the Perkin Australian Journalist of the Year Award. In October, it will be 46 years since the sudden death of one of Australia's finest editors, Perkin. Tonight, the Melbourne Press Club is proud to present the 45th Australian Journalist of the Year Award in his honour. It's one of Australian journalism's richest prizes, sponsored by The Age, Perkin's newspaper, with a $10,000 cash prize. Can we please all make welcome Corrie Perkin, the daughter of Graham Perkin. We also have Will Carter here, who is Corrie's son and Graham's grandson, to help us present the award. And please also welcome to the stage Perkin Award Judge Duska Sulicic and the editor of The Age, Gail Con.
Thank you, Candice. My name tends to confound everyone, and Candice managed to pronounce it better than I can. So, welcome everyone. What a year we've been through. It's been a unique and unforgettable experience. 2020 saw some of our finest examples of our craft delivered under extraordinarily difficult circumstances, with ingenuity, excellence and courage, the very criteria for the judging of the Graham Perkin. I want to thank my fellow judges, Helen Trinker of The Australian and David Spears of ABC's Insiders. We had such an impressive array of entries, and getting down to the short list was extremely difficult. But they exemplify the journalism practiced by Perkin, a trailblazer who created an investigative team to expose corruption, who championed the rights of Indigenous Australians and who fought for media freedom. The shortlist, in alphabetical order, includes The Guardian's Lorena Allam. She consistently sets the agenda for the coverage of Indigenous affairs with projects such as the Killing Fields, which mapped the frontier massacres. Last year, her impressive body of work included news, features and podcasts that highlighted ongoing threats to ancient heritage sites and to remote Indigenous communities, particularly vulnerable to COVID-19. The Sydney Morning Herald and The Age's Jacqueline Maley and Kate McClimate. For an explosive series revealing the sexual harassment allegations against former High Court Justice Justice Dyson Hayden. The 2-year investigation brought to light allegations that spanned decades within powerful institutions. A critical moment when the silence was finally broken. The Age of Nine's Nick McKenzie. For an extraordinary body of work in both its depth and consequence. It included the Faceless Men investigation into Labor Party branch stacking and taxpayer rorting that brought down 3 ministers and saw corruption inquiries launched. More war crimes investigations. Nick's courageous reporting has shaped the national conversation. The continued forensic investigation into Crown and another 60 minutes expose, this time into police officers and family violence. The ABC's Mark Willesee. Four Corners, The Killing Fields, was a searing and unforgettable investigation. The shocking footage of an unarmed Afghan civilian being killed by an SAS soldier, and then the subsequent cover-up was a culmination of a 6-month investigation by Mark. He tracked down and obtained the startling helmet camera footage, and for the first time had an SAS patrol member speak to camera fully identified. A war crime exposed with raw, shocking power. Please join me in congratulating all the finalists. And now I'll ask Gay Alcorn, the editor of The Age, to come forward.
Thank you, Dushka. Hello to you all. But before I begin, I just want to shout out to Colin Duck. I'm not sure where you are. I'm old enough, many of you are not, to remember a time when Colin really did pretty much run Melbourne. So I was delighted to see your award tonight. I never had the honour to meet Graham Perkin, but I feel like I can't get away from him. Every time I enter our office at Docklands, his words are in huge letters on the wall, and we all read them every day. The particular words are, "We're not here as a means of simply passing a word from a mouth to an eye. We've a responsibility to our readers and society in general." Not big shoes to fill. He was a powerful champion for editorial independence, and that's a legacy that we uphold today. Apparently The Age used to be called a bit lefty in his day, and that's something we still deal with occasionally. It was Perkin's restless energy, his ambition, his campaigning style of journalism that we honour with this award, which The Age is proud to sponsor. I do know his daughter Corrie, and I've worked with his son Steve, so I'm absolutely delighted to see the next generation Will present this award on behalf of his grandfather. So I think I'm supposed to get a... So now for the envelope. Oh, thanks very much. All the nominations are wonderful, but the 2020 Graham Perkin Journalist of the Year is the wonderful Nick McKenzie.
Nick McKenzie's impressive body of work in 2020 added to the breadth and depth of his investigative journalism over many years. The scope and ambition of his work, matched with a commitment to pursuing the story beyond the scoop, make him a good fit with the intentions of the Graham Perkin Award.
At the end of your inquiry, did you believe, having heard all that you did, that civilians, prisoners, the defenceless had been executed in cold blood?
Yes.
McKenzie's work on war crimes, Crown Casino and corruption in the Victorian branch of the ALP in particular continues to make a difference, not just by prompting official actions and inquiries, but by encouraging other media to investigate issues and by building a more open public conversation about key institutions and values. McKenzie shines a powerful light. His is quality journalism critical to our democracy.
Good evening, everybody. I'll try to keep this brief. Firstly, I never thought I'd ever be at Crown Casino being celebrated for taking down Crown Casino. The good news is that there is a 10 grand cash prize. Now, I've been told if I can take it to a Crown cashier, as long as it's in a green Safeway bag, and the $50 notes are tied with rubber bands in small bundles, there'll be no questions asked. I'll keep this brief. I feel so damn lucky every day to be a journalist. I love my job and I feel as lucky to have it today as I did the day I became a cadet. And that's partly because of those around me. Every single major piece of work I've done in my career, every single one I've done with my colleagues. And every story that forms part of this award tonight is only possible because of those who worked with me. My incredible producer, Joel Tozer, Chris Masters, Samaya Ilambay, Paul Sakal, Richard Baker, Michael Bachelard, and the awesome camos and soundies and editors who rarely, if ever, get praised. I want to say that exposing war crimes was only possible because the media banded together to do our jobs. Mark Willesee, Dan Oakes, Sam Clark of the ABC did tremendous work. Ben Packham of The Australian and Ellen Winnett of the Herald Sun have also shone a great light, and I intend to poach both of you from News Limited in due course. I want to thank my second father and the legendary 72-year-old journalist Chris Masters, or as I call him, Professor Fat Bastard. I'd like to thank the Perkin family here tonight for this great honour. I'd like to thank the best media lawyer in Australia. Sorry, it's not the legendary Grandmaster Peter Bartlett or the magnificent Quilly. It's Dean Levitin. Dean is fighting a 6'6" former SAS soldier on my behalf. Now, Dean isn't quite 6'6". In fact, one of our SAS witnesses recently nicknamed him Harry Potter. I thought this was a great laugh until Dean informed me that our SAS witness had also given me a nickname. It was Pipsqueak. Not so funny. But Dean, I'd like no one else in my corner. You're a gun and you're not yet 30. We're in the defamation fight of our lives right now, but we have truth on our side, and I hope to God it's enough to win. I'd like to thank my endless... Thank you. I'd like to thank my endlessly supportive bosses, Michael Bachelard and Gay Alcorn. Gay, the editor of The Age. Gay gave me my very first performance review at The Age as a 26-year-old in 2006. She wrote, and I quote, "Nick is unmanageable, struggles to sit still, needs to improve his writing, needs to stop wearing exercise shorts in the office." She also gave me my very last performance review at the end of last year. She wrote, and I quote, "Over 14 years, Nick's writing has, on the whole, mostly improved." However, Nick remains largely unmanageable, struggles to sit still. He persists with wearing exercise shorts in the office. More recently, I felt so lucky to be a journalist on the Melbourne Press Club board, where we have awesome media professionals from rival outlets working together to make our media a better place, led by our tremendous CEO, Kathy Bryson. I feel so lucky to be a journalist because I feel so damn privileged to tell the stories of the real heroes of journalism. They're not us. They're the whistleblowers of those who have gone through hell and then allow us to thrust them into the spotlight to tell their truth. Think of Brittany Higgins, and tonight, think of Robert Muir. Journalism should never be about us, the journos, and we are not the story. It should be about the stories and the people we write about. Now, I'm aware of the deep irony of this from a man who earlier this week stood in front of a camera saying, over and over again, for an hour, just one line, "And I'm Nick McKenzie." As the 60 Minutes producer yelled at me to say it again, but this time, say it like you really believe it. And I know some of my newspaper colleagues may have noticed me carrying a little bag they may have suspected was a small yet expensive makeup kit with foundation and concealer. Now, I will not comment on that, but I will say, as an aside for all the men in the audience, a little MAC Men's Skin Tone Concealer on the old cheeks, not too much mind you, can make your eyes pop. But back to the real heroes of our profession, and they are the whistleblowers. The only reason I'm up here is because of those people. In the audience tonight, a guest of the Age table is Dusty Miller. Dusty served with the SAS in Afghanistan. The Brereton report into what happened in Afghanistan, the classified version, recognises his extreme bravery on at least 2 occasions, including one in which he exposed himself to grave harm to kill Taliban that were endangering his brother soldiers. But one of the bravest things Dusty did was go on national TV and tell Australians that he also witnessed a war crime. And he was speaking up because what he witnessed was wrong. I visited Dusty in a psych ward twice. I've tried to keep up with him as he ran 10 k's up a mountain, yelling at me, "Come on, Pipsqueak, run!" And I've cried with Dusty as he said sorry to the boys of an Afghan farmer stomped to death by another SAS soldier. Dusty, I'm so damn proud to have told your story. Dusty, I'm so damn proud you've become a lifelong friend. Thank you and good evening.
Congratulations, Nick. Not only has that man won an outstanding 26 quills, but that is his second Graham Perkin Award, after winning in 2017 alongside Richard Baker of The Age. Thank you also to Gay, Dushka and Will.